Good morning or afternoon or evening. Thank you so much for joining us at the Pet Sustainability Coalition once of Flex Forward. We're so excited to have you with us this morning because it's morning here in Colorado. We have a very full house today, so we're going to give everybody about one more minute to join and then we will jump on in. So thanks again so much for joining us, everybody. All right, let's get started. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for the Pet Sustainabilities Coalition official launch of Flex Forward. This is a program we've been working on for a while and are just absolutely thrilled to be bringing it to you. A couple of housekeeping notes before we dive in. First of all, we will be sending a link to this recording and a copy of this deck to everyone on the call today. We're going to be leaving plenty of time at the end for questions. So feel free to be dropping questions in the chat box and we will get to as many of those as we possibly can at the end. So once again, thank you for joining us. My name is Melissa Bauer, and I am the Director of Sustainability here at the Pet Sustainability Coalition. A brief introduction to PSC. We are a nonprofit industry association working with about 130 different pet companies all over the supply chain and all over the globe. We serve our members in many different ways, providing education, inspiration, and action. But we also pride ourselves as serving for a space for collaboration to bring the industry together and to bring pet companies from all over the supply chain and all over the sector to bring together and solve solutions for the betterment of the entire industry. So Flex Forward is an initiative at PSC, but much more importantly, it's a collaborative initiative by our amazing program brand sponsor, Earth Animal, and the Petfood Experts distribution network, along with recyclers, US-based manufacturers, retailers, and pet parents. So joining us today, who you'll hear from in just a few minutes, we have Stephanie Vole, the Chief Marketing Officer from Earth Animal, and also Micah Baker, who is our President from Petfood Experts, two amazing program partners and PSC members that you will be hearing from in just a few minutes. So before we talk about the solution of Flex Forward, let's take just a minute and talk about the problem. So according to research conducted on behalf of us here at PSC, we estimated that 300 million pounds of plastic pet food bags and treats are generated each year in the United States. Those bags are mainly made up of multi-laminate, multi-layer bags that are kind of sandwiched together to form a bag, with each layer serving a different purpose. As such, it's nearly impossible to separate those layers at the end of life for those bags, which makes it a really big challenge in recycling. So as a result of that, we estimate that over 99% of all pet food and treat bags in the United States are disposed and go straight to landfill rather than are being recycled. That said, some bag manufacturers and suppliers have begun to offer, and you might well see some bags that are labeled as recycle ready. And while this is a great innovation and something we're really excited about at PSC, those recycled bags make at the moment, tiny share of the overall pet bag market. So while we at PSC think it's very important and are actively moving towards moving the industry as a whole in a more sustainable packaging direction, there is still this problem of 300 million pounds of bags going to the landfill. And this is where Flex Forward comes in. So we in 2020 are using Flex Forward as a pilot that we're going to use to test the collection, recyclability, and first full circle product potential to inform, hopefully, industry-wide expansion in 2021. So how is this going to work? So this involves all different sectors of the pet industry: pet retailers, distributors, recyclers, and pet parents. So the way that the Pet Flex Forward pilot is going to work is partnering with retailers to set up a collection bin in their store where pet parents can bring back those bags directly to their store. Then those bags will be picked up by a distributor through reverse logistics. And what that means is that as the distributor is there picking up and dropping off their normal kind of drop off of product, while the driver is there, they can then pick up those bags. And so it doesn't actually add any carbon to this supply chain, because you're utilizing already established distribution and transportation lines. Then after an assembly of a bunch of different bags, then that distributor will then ship the bags to a recycler who will recycle the collected materials and send pellets from those collected bags to manufacturing partners to test what we can turn it into. Earth Animal, as an amazing program sponsor for this program, has already committed that any upcycled products from the Flex Forward program are going to be donated to shelters around the United States, which is amazing. And then that brings it back to pet parents, to actually bring the bags back to the retailers. So what kind of materials are we going to be accepting through this program? Basically, all kinds of flexible packaging related to the pet industry. So think dog food, cat food, treat bags. The only kind of thing that we have to be wary of is raw food packaging, which we are still going to accept, but they're just going to have to be rinsed off first. And we will be including those instructions for our consumers and our retailers, which we'll talk about in a few minutes later. What's really exciting about this program is that it is brand agnostic. So any brand, any dog food, any cat food, any treat bag from any brand is eligible to no cost to these brands through this program. So one of the great things about a pilot is that it's a huge learning experience, right? So the whole goal of Flex Forward is to investigate this process, investigate what does a fully closed loop recycling solution for pet packaging look like. We have hopes, and we have, what we're hoping we're going to find out. But the really exciting thing is, this is a learning process for everyone. So we hope that Flex Forward will inform the possibility of what a national recycling program will look like that rescues plastic packaging from the landfill and instead diverts that plastic material into new products. We're going to be measuring and looking at and exploring all different kinds of data during this process. So some of the things that we will be measuring include things like the quality and the cleanliness of the bags when they're collected, how dirty, how much residue are in these bags when they come back. What is the level of participation and of retailers and consumers? Is this a program that retailers and consumers are excited about? We think so, and we hope so, but that's something we're going to be looking at. How do the logistics work? Petfood Experts is a well-oiled, amazing machine of a partner, but what do any problems arise? Are there any complications that we didn't look at, or is hopeful that things run as smoothly as we hope? Another thing we're going to be looking at is, what is the durability, safety, and quality of the plastic material after the recycling process? So making sure that we're going through those health and safety standards for the resulting products, just like any other product that's on the market. Our hope is that based on these metrics and more, we will be able to roll the Flex Forward program out nationally. But just like any other pilot experience, the experience of Flex Forward will be in the learning, and we're really excited about that part of it. So I'm now going to invite Michael Baker from Petfood Experts to come off mute to talk about who can participate this program, how Petfood Experts is involved. And Michael, do you want to just say a few words about kind of why you, on behalf of Petfood Experts, are excited about this program and chose to participate?
Yes, thank you for reminding me to come off of mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Michael, I can hear you great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I am blessed to be the president and owner of Petfood Experts. We're located here in New England. If you're not a customer of ours, I can't wait to do business with you someday. We're currently servicing over 4,900 independent retail locations in 32 US states. So mostly the northern half, we're working our way south, and can't wait to get everywhere someday so we can all continue to keep this amazing industry going. I'm a fourth generation family member in the Baker family to be in the pet industry. My great grandfather started as an aquarium shop here just up the street in Rhode Island. And now I still have 5 stores of my own and a beautiful distribution business that works with all sorts of amazing vendors, 120 vendors that we represent across the country. And for the last couple of years, working together with the Pet Sustainability Coalition. And I'm blessed now to be on the board as well, trying to help do my part and make sure all of our retail clients as well as our vendors are represented well in this incredible work that PSC is doing. So this particular project here, I will tell you as a distributor, one of the things we pride ourselves in is providing incredible service one way. We love getting your order right the first time, delivering it at your door. In the best case as a wholesale distributor, if you don't even notice we're there, that means we're really doing our job. And with that being said, it is an incredible challenge for us to take product back when we make a mistake or you order something wrong or there's a bag ripped upon delivery. So it is with great excitement that we join in this launch of Flex Forward, because I know how valuable and important it is, but it is with a little bit of trepidation as far as providing reverse logistics. We pride ourselves in having extraordinarily clean warehouses. Food safety is of the utmost importance to us, just on our own to keep high standards between the FDA and the USDA and all of the rules and regulations that exist for our manufacturers in their physical kitchens and plants. We live and die by many of those same rules and regulations on behalf of our vendors. So what allows us in this pilot to test all of these issues and potential challenges with regards to food safety specifically is why we're going to be offering it to independent retailers that we serve in the Pacific Northwest as part of this pilot. We've gotten great response across the country from all of our customers. Everybody wants to start collecting bags and send them to one of our 5 warehouses. For now, we're just going to restrict that to customers that we deliver to on a Petfood Experts truck, which is about 2/3 of our clients in the Pacific Northwest. It would be impossible short term to have any third-party trucking company that we work with to make deliveries to bring things back. So particularly in this case, when it's not an actual product, we're picturing bags of empty bags. So to start for the pilot, this program will be offered to our customers in the Pacific Northwest and just ones that are on a Petfood Experts truck, so to speak, a regular route. All of our brands are being encouraged to participate in this and support it. And I think Stephanie will talk to that. As blessed as we are to have Earth Animal behind us as the lead sponsor, and really in many ways the idea generator, which you'll hear about in a couple minutes. We are at Petfood Experts going to encourage our 119 other vendors that aren't Earth Animal to help in any way they can spread the word. And hopefully the pet parents that we all serve will want to participate actively with not only empty bags of pet food and treats that will meet the requirements to be a part of this program, but also from other channels. There are many other packages once you learn more about these plastics that we're trying to work with here. Many of these same bags are used in human food consumption. So there will be a chance for as long as we can keep taking them back and most importantly, figure out how best to use this material once we've collected it. We're going to do everything we can to get the customers that want to participate set up And we're going to work through providing the best possible reverse logistics we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael, for explaining that to us, and we really appreciate your participation. And obviously, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. I do want to say at PSC we have had a lot of retailers reach out to us from other regions that want to participate this, and we're really stoked and excited about that enthusiasm. And we're going to talk in just a little bit later about how retailers that aren't necessarily in the pilot region can still be involved. And hopefully, we can take lessons learned from this program and expand it like we talked about. So thank you again, Michael. I now want to invite Steffi Volvo from Earth Animal to come off mute and talk about what our retailer program looks like and what our participating retailers are going to get through their participation. And also just huge, again, thank you, Steffi, and you and everybody at Earth Animal for your leadership and sponsorship of this program. So how are you, Steffi? Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you. Good
Okay.
afternoon, Steffi.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Michael. Yeah, this is really excited for all of us at Earth Animal to be announcing and talking in more detail about with all of you. I think most of you know who I am, but if you don't, my name is Steffi Volo, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Earth Animal. I have been in the industry for several years now, and I'd like to say always trying to think forward when it comes to sustainability. And I've been thinking about something like this pretty much since I've been at Earth Animal, and reached out to Michael, I guess a couple years ago even, when I was starting to think about what a program could look like. And for me, what's most exciting about this program is the collaborative efforts and the collaboration in general that the success of this program is going to depend on, because I'm a big fan of collaboration, and I believe that when we all come together, we really make the most positive impact possible. One thing that's really amazing and that I get to be responsible for is that Earth Animal dedicates 1% of their annual net sales to organizations and industry stewardship, as well as sort of mission-driven efforts just like this one, so that we can continue to preserve and enhance quality of life for animals, people, and the earth. And like I said, I get to be responsible for working with Earth Animal and the team at Earth Animal and the team at PSC and our partners like Michael and PFX to come up with these types of programs and get behind them and really sort of progressively think forward with these types of programs. So for me, I'm here to talk about the retailer program, and we felt like that in order for this program to really take off, we wanted it to be as easy as possible for retailers, because they're the main, I would say, partner in this to really get the program going and to get excited about it and to tell their pet parents about it that come into their stores. But I wanted to make sure that they didn't have a lot of extra work to do, and we wanted to get them excited about it. And so Melissa's right. What we have put together is what we're calling a Flex Forward Activation Kit, that for this pilot program, no retailer will have to pay for at all. And it includes quite a bit of things that I would be happy to speak offline more about. And I think if you visit our websites, you can see in more detail. But we will be providing the collection vessels and providing you with activation support as well, in the form of signage and postcards and digital assets and fun types of employee training and onboarding and incentives and recognition. So, our goal, again, is to make it easy as possible for you and your team to get excited about the collection, the program, and making it as easy as possible. So we will be also providing liners and information for PFX to easily track what your store is producing and what they are picking up in their reverse logistics. We are also working with PSC to provide on-call support. So if there are other questions that happen that we are not providing in our FAQs that we've got currently, that you can call them at any time and they can help support you. And we also don't know what this looks like for any of the retailers. We don't know how many bags will be collected on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. So we think we're starting you off with a fairly strong amount of items, but we don't know, which is why we also are providing a streamlined ordering process to make sure that when you are in need of more activation items or collateral or support items, then we can make it easy for you to order more of them. We also have provided a full frequently asked questions document that you guys can always refer to and share with your pet parents as well if they have questions. So it's a really robust program. And again, we think we've thought a lot of things through, but what this pilot program will tell us is if we haven't thought something through, and that if we need other things to additionally support you, in addition to all the other things that Melissa and Michael talked about. So I'm really looking forward to the actual launch of this program. Admittedly, it's a little bit of a crazy time, and I do hope that all of you that are on this call and your families and your stores and your store teams are well, safe, and healthy. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be on this call and listening and hearing more about this exciting program. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Steffi, and thank you for yours and Earth Animal's amazing leadership on this program. As part of the follow-up that everyone on this webinar will get, we'll be providing links so you can go to Earth Animal's online digital kit and see lots more about this collection vessel and the kind of support that we will be providing retailers. So thank you again, Steffi.
Thank you.
Steffi, you really did a great job in segueing into something I just want to touch on briefly, which is kind of acknowledging the situation that we're all into with COVID-19 and the coronavirus. We had originally, as many on the call might know, hoped to launch this program April 1st. It is currently on hold with now a target launch date of May 1st to make sure that we are providing the support and health and well-being to our families, communities, businesses that really need to be putting their full attention in those areas where they need. That said, there are many systems already in place for retailers that want to already sign up and get involved, or brands that want to get involved and start talking about this story. So while the program has been launch date pushed back a month, we know that we're all craving times of hope and things to look forward to. So there are ways that you can get involved in this program right now while we wait for the dust to settle a little bit. And in that, it's going to take all of us to successfully launch this program. It's going to take retailers, it's going to take brands, it's going to take consumers and pet parents. So retailers, if you are in the pilot area, please sign up. Please let us know that you would like to participate in that program, and we're going to talk about how in just a minute. Talk to your consumers, tell them that they're coming. After it launches, if you're one of our participating retailers, we'd love to know how it's going. Send us pictures, send us stories, let us know what's working, let us know what's not. We're really hoping to build a collaborative community and really learn as much as we can through this process, and that's definitely going to take your help and input. For our brands, we also have a resource available to you to sign up to hear how it's going. Be talking to your consumers about why this is important and the need for sustainable packaging options. If you want to explore what are sustainable packaging options for your brands, get in touch with PSC. This is something that we can help you with. Also, very excitingly, we're going to be sharing pre-made social media posts for you. So any brand, if you want to be talking to your consumers and letting them know that this pilot is going on and encouraging your consumers in the pilot area to participate, we're going to have pre-made posts for you that you can just go ahead and, these will be brand agnostic for you to talk to this program and talk about sustainability with your customers. And then from a consumer level, we're going to be building a participating retailer map so that consumers can very easily find a retailer that's participating and hopefully get consumers into these participating retail shops. And then, from a different point of view of really making sure that the brands from a consumer point of view that you are supporting, you're having these conversations and letting them know that sustainability and sustainable packaging is something that you care about. So really getting into how can we actually get involved. And once again, all of this information will be sent to you in a follow-up email. So you'll have all of these links. If you are a retailer and you believe you are in the pilot participation area, this is the website that you can go to sign up and register and let us know that you'd like to participate. For our other retailers and brands and suppliers, we're going to have a dedicated newsletter just to talk about this program, let you know how it's going, how many pounds of packaging have we collected so far, what are the lessons that we're learning, and then as we get into the recycling process, how is it going, things of that nature. And then for everyone else, if you want to be a part of not only this program, but many of the other sustainability industry leading programs that PSC is a part of, we'd love to have you as part of the community. We'd love to have you as part of this movement. So please feel free to get in touch with us if you would like to learn more about being a PSC member. And that's for retailers or brands or suppliers or anybody in the supply chain. We're here to help. We're here to help you all. So one last thing before we get to Q&A, I also want to personally extend the invitation in the spirit of good news and things to look forward to everyone on this call to join us on April for what we're calling our next non-traditional webinar. We are throwing a big party for the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and we'd love you to join us for it. This will not be a traditional webinar like we're having today, but it'll be a place to join by video, talk to the other people on the line. There will be prizes, there will be giveaways, things of that nature, and we'll also be getting into a little bit of data to really show you from an aggregate point of view the different sustainable measures that PSC members and how we're moving this movement forward. So we would love, for you to join us for that. So I'm going to then take a look at our Q&A and let's see what questions you have. I also want to invite Stephanie and Michael to be a part of this. So if you have any questions, what can we answer for you? It looks like we've got a lot of questions in the question box. I don't know that we're going to be able to get to all of them, but we'll get as many to you as we can. So first question, will this only be within the US? Can pellets also be sent to EU or China manufacturers? So that's a really great question. For the time being, we have identified some US-based manufacturers that we are going to be sending some of the resulting pellets to see what they can make with it and putting it in their manufacturing process. We've already identified some US-based manufacturers who have agreed to that process through this pilot. So for the time being, for the sake of this pilot, that's where the pellets are going to be. However, like many things as part of this pilot, nothing is off the table when it comes to kind of next steps and, do we get to a national or international expansion afterwards. So we have another question. Hello. So is this going to be implemented only in the USA from a Spanish pet food company? So right now, if you are distributing in the US, your products and brands are, once again, we are taking packaging from any brand as part of this pilot through the generosity of Earth Animal. But once again, nothing is really off the table when we talk about next steps or national expansion. All right, what is the next question? Hi there, it might be explained during the call, but is the cost of picking up the bags and recycling for the retailer brand consumer or for Flex Forward? So Steffi, do you want to talk about this? Is there going to be a cost to any of the retailers or any of the brands or any of the consumers?
No, there isn't. Great question, and I think this question will probably come up a couple of different times, especially for those that are not able to be on the call. But that is the whole idea. For this pilot program, there is no cost whatsoever associated with the program to consumers, retailers, or brands.
And that is through the generosity of Earth Animal being the pilot sponsor. So once again, for that, thank you again for that. So we have we have so many questions. I'm going to try and get to them as many as I can. The next question is a great question from Jonah. Hi, Jonah, thanks for joining us. What's known about potential to upcycle versus downcycle multi-layer packaging? That's a really great question. So we have already through this process identified a recycler that we're going to be working with and have done a couple of trial runs. Once again, there's no way to anticipate what kinds of bags are going to come in, how many different kinds of, are we going to have a certain percentage of mono resin bags? Are we going to have a certain percentage of multi-resin bags or any things of that nature? So those are one of the things we're really excited to learn. However, I can tell you through our preliminary trials with our identified recycler, we were able to successfully produce for multi-layered bags, Frisbees and pet bowls. So that will be probably something that we are going to continue to explore, but also really excited to see where the trials of the resulting pellets go with our US-based manufacturers and the things that they're able to identify as well. So another question, just making sure I'm clear, not available in New England yet. Pilot is in Pacific Northwest always. Any idea when it might come to New England? So Michael, do you wanna touch base on that one?
Yeah, the plan right now is to start in the Pacific Northwest, like I mentioned earlier. And I think, Steffi, is our plan to collect feedback from the other PFX regions as to who may be second to go? What's the best way to handle that?
Yeah, so I think, and Melissa, you can probably talk a little bit about this as well. So we are accepting, so anybody can sign up. That's a PFX customer, or even that isn't a PFX customer, but primarily as a PFX customer across the country, to get updates and learn as much as we know when we know it, so that they can always be updated. And honestly, it's so hard to say how we're going to know how we're going to expand, Michael. And but I think the most important thing is for us to know who is interested in being a part of the program when we do expand. But there is no set plan as to where we're going to expand next. I think it does make sense that depending on how the pilot program goes and what we find out and what we learn, then we would probably expand in the next area that has the most interest. But I can't say that with 100% conviction because we don't really know yet. But that's why it's so important for people to let us know who's interested, so that we can keep track of them, keep them updated, let them know the progress in a timely manner as well. But at this point, we don't have any specific and set plan of how we're going to expand next and where we're going to expand next. Melissa, do you want to add anything there?
No,
Or
I think you covered that really greatly, Steffi. As I kind of mentioned before, really nothing's off the table. We are not saying no to anything when it comes to next steps off of this pilot. We're really focused on let's learn as much as we possible and be as transparent as we can through that learning process. So I would really strongly encourage anybody on the call to go ahead and subscribe to the Flex Forward kind of newsletter that we're going to be putting out, to be as transparent as possible. Of this many pounds of packaging have been collected from this many stores, and also, as Steffi mentioned, where we think the areas are going to be most successful and people are most interested in will strongly be taken in consideration when we consider expansion. So if you are in an area outside of the pilot region, I would just really, once again, strongly encourage you to communicate that to PFX and to let us at PSC and Earth Animal know, so that we can know kind of where people are most excited about, so that we can have that as part of the consideration. Once again, I'm going to try and get to as many questions as we can. This one is probably a great question for you, Steffi. Is this receptacle about the same size as current TerraCycle boxes? We are a large volume store and fill one brand box weekly from just the one brand. But if they stock over 30 brands, and if all of those are accepted, they imagine to be able to fill several of these boxes a week, which, by the way, is awesome. Thrilled about that. So can that volume be handled?
interesting and exciting question.
I know, I love that. Love that.
Okay, so actually the box is slightly so our box is slightly larger than the large TerraCycle box. So it's not that much bigger, but it is larger. I would say, I don't know, I can't remember exactly offhand, but it is a little bit larger than the current large TerraCycle box. And so I'm not entirely sure of what that will look like for this particular retailer, but I think we'll just have to gauge if this retailer is gathering a ton of bags. I'm hoping that they're probably getting, because there's such high volume, maybe a ton of shipments from PFX. So therefore, when the shipments are being delivered, they can just continuously be picking up the bags, and we can provide them with a lot of additional bags. But again, nothing's off the table. We'll have to take a look. Maybe there are going to be certain retailers that are going to need more than one vessel in their location, and we're just going to have to take a look at that and see if that's a need, and try to accommodate as quickly as possible.
Melissa, I would love to have an offline conversation with this individual and our team. This would be a great problem to have, that we have more than we can handle, frankly. So if we can set that up as a follow-up, that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely, Michael. We're not going to be able to get to all of the questions. We're going to have to stop in just a few minutes, but I would strongly encourage you have this email up on your screen, and it'll be in your follow-up, that if we don't get to your question, please let us know. We can put you in contact with Stephanie. We can put you in contact with Michael. We are so excited about this, and have a bunch of bags is the best possible problem to have. So we want to make sure that we get that. A couple quick questions I want to make sure that we address. We had a question about how long is this program going to last, which is a really, really great question. For the pilot, the program will go as long as it takes to collect 5,000 pounds of pet packaging. So we did a study last year, which is available on our PSC website, but we did not cover for the sake of time. That was a full-scale feasibility analysis for this program, and it was determined that to make the program financially feasible for the manufacturer, we need 5,000 pounds of pet packaging, excuse me. So we envision that if we have 300 pet retailers participate, and that if pet parents bring back bags at the same ratio or slightly higher than consumers bring back their plastic bags from grocery stores, you know, your King Soopers or Walmart or whatever's in your area bag, then it will take about 3 months. So that's kind of what we have for the scale of and timing for this program. So we do collections May, June, July, and then really go into the recycling discovery phase summer, late fall. So great question. Another question is, we are not a pet food brand or retailer, but a dog gear brand that would like to participate in this exciting program. Would you suggest that we partner with a local retailer or with Petfood Experts? That's a great problem to have. If you are using flex pack bags for your dog gear, then that's 100% would be eligible to participate in this program, and those bags are welcome to go. So it's for any pet related plastic bags. If you're looking to recycle something else other than plastic, then I would encourage you to look at the packaging section of the PSC website, and there's a lot of tools that will explain to you there about how to do that, or you're always welcome to drop an email and let us know, and that's something that maybe we can help you find a good resource for. So that's unfortunately all the time that we have today. I know there were lots of questions we didn't get to. I would strongly encourage you to drop the PSC team an email at info@petsustainability.org, and that we are very happy to continue this conversation. I know that Steffi and Michael are also eager and happy to continue this conversation. So we just want to thank everyone for taking the time today, for joining us. We are really excited for this program and to share it with you. And thank you so much, Michael and Steffi, for joining us. I hope, just like Steffi said, all on this call, their teams, their families are all well. And PSC is excited to partner with Earth Animal and Pet Food Experts to bring this program and provide us some good news and things to look forward to in this troubling time. So thank you again, Steffi and Michael, for joining us.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody.
Peace, everybody. God bless.
God bless.
Great. Have a great rest of your day. Thank everyone for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.